What's going on, everybody? My name is Chernell from the White TOS, and welcome back to the countdown to Sonic Mania. Here we are going to begin our playthrough of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Genesis, released in 1992. Now, what we have here is the options menu. And because there's a few new features that are available in this game, we get to choose how we want to play the game. As you all may or may not know, you probably should, Tails was introduced in this game. So you have the option of playing as Sonic and Tails, Sonic alone, or Tails alone. There's also a versus mode in this game, which allows you to race against a friend in 3 of the zones and also on the special stage, which is actually pretty cool. But we are going to play as Sonic and Tails, because Tails likes to get into little wonky scenarios and shenanigans. I think it'll be pretty fun to watch. Now, a cool thing about Tails in this game is that when he's following you, if a player picks up the second controller, and I believe it works on this version as well, but on the Genesis, if the second player were to basically start moving, he would be able to control Tails, and you can kind of play this game like co-op, which is actually really cool, but kind of hard for the person that's playing Tails, because as you can see, the camera only follows Sonic. So back in the day, I know that everybody's younger brother played as Tails, and it was just the most frustrating thing ever. Okay, so let me explain a few things about how this playthrough is going to go down. First off, just like in the previous game, I will be getting the Chaos Emeralds. But unlike the previous game, you don't have to beat the stage with a certain amount of rings in order to unlock the special stage. In Sonic 2, they changed the way that special stages work. So instead of going through the giant ring at the end of the stage, all you have to do is have more than 50 rings and hit a checkpoint. But I am not going to do that, or at least I'm not going to show you that here, because I want this playthrough to kind of basically play, or go through the same way that the Sonic 1 playthrough did. And so what I mean by that is that at the end of every Act 1, I will showcase a special stage, because I don't know, in this game Super Sonic is kind of buggy, and I don't actually like playing with him in this game. He has some game-breaking bugs. Ones that would cause me to have to restart the game if we got caught up in it. So I'm gonna avoid that like the plague, and basically obtain the emeralds in a second save file. I don't think I've said this, but we are playing on the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection for the what's it called, Xbox 360, which sports save files. So in a separate save file, I will be playing. Oh God, we almost lost all our rings. I will be playing the special stages, and that's so we can get the good ending at the end of the game. So you guys will see the special stages, but not the way that they're supposed to be. At least not in this game. So at the end of this act, it's basically gonna cut away, and then you will see me playing a special stage, and we're going to do this after every Act 1. And we got a little continue guy. Alright guys, here we go with special stage number 1. We're trying to get all the emeralds, and in order to do so, we need to get 30 rings. Now, if you watched the first series or have played any Sonic game before, you will notice that these special stages are drastically different than the ones from the first game. We are in a half pipe, and you have a different sprite for Sonic and everything. You have some catchy music. No more fish and random flying birds. This was probably a lot of people's favorite special stage. I know it's definitely one of my favorites. And it's one that they'll revisit in future games. All right, so we have to get 130 rings. There's usually, and I think that's for all of them, there's three like parts. I should say 3 parts to every special stage, and gives you like a requirement or like an amount of rings that you have to get in. We got well over 130. We got the first emerald. We're gonna get the good ending. Just wait and see. Well, let's get back to the gameplay. Okay, welcome back to Emerald Hill Zone. For some reason, I think Emerald Hill, and I always want to say Green Hill for whatever reason. But yeah. So let me a little bit more explaining. I have a little bit more explaining to do. The reason why I'm doing the you know, the emeralds the way that I'm doing them is to basically just make this easier on myself. You know, I mentioned, you know, how Supersonic can be a little buggy, but the thing is, there are 8 what do you want to call them? What's it called? Checkpoints. There are 8 checkpoints in Emerald Hill. So if I wanted to, I can have Supersonic in Green Hill Zone, which would, number one, make this playthrough just way too easy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this game is already, you know, it already seems shorter because instead of 2 zones or 2 acts per zone, there's only well, I'm sorry, instead of 3 acts per zone like in Sonic 1, there's only 2. So this game, I don't know if it actually is shorter or it takes, you know, longer or to beat, but you know, the levels are definitely faster, and there's only, you know, 2 per zone. So to try to keep some kind of consistency, that's what we're gonna do, and I hope you guys can understand. You know, we're gonna get the emeralds, but not for Supersonic. I may show him off in maybe like the finale video or something, but as for now, we're just gonna run through this game as, you know, regular Sonic with Tails, just to keep things kind of like normalized, you know. 200 rings, I'm all about it. Yeah, because by this point in the level, I could have gotten all of the emeralds. At this boss, we could have Supersonic if we wanted to. But I don't want to do that. Here we go with Robotnik sporting a brand new set of contacts. I don't know if I mentioned it in the first game in the series, Sonic 1, but his eyes were like kind of like turquoise blue, and now they're gray. So I always I like to think that he just got a new pair of contacts. Pretty easy boss. When he spits out the little like drill at you, that used to always like scare me. But that is gonna do it. That's gonna be it for Emerald Hill Zone. Thank you, Tails, for pressing that for me. We will see you guys in the next episode with the next zone. Again, my name is Trinell, and this is my countdown to Sonic Mania. See you guys in the next video.